Could you give, kind of similar to the last question, one highlight, one thing that kind of stands out from the experience? And secondly, what has been the most challenging thing? What thing has been the hardest for you in building Strive?
Yeah. The thing that stands out the most to me is the parents that I speak with. It is so heartwarming to see the amount of care, love, and passion that parents have for their kids. And it actually has made me understand or relate or just respect my parents also a lot more. Parents, I mean, it's a hard job. I'm not a parent, so I don't understand from firsthand, but I have now interacted with more than 300, 500 parents through this journey. And it is a tough job to know, are you doing the right thing? When you're picking a coding school, is this the right school? The teacher that you get. I mean, when we take coding, for example, most parents that reach out to us don't understand coding. Haven't done it when they were young. They don't understand what the difference between Python, JavaScript, and whatnot. They're sort of just trusting me when I tell them do this language. And it is scary, and I see that. So I've come to respect the love that parents have for their kids, and I think kids don't realize it. I realize it now that I owe a lot of what I have to my parents and what they've done for me, the classes they've gotten from me, and I can see that these kids are in good hands. That's been the highlight for me. What has been the hardest, I think, from the same similar perspective, from a more business perspective, the hardest thing has been to educate both the parents and the kids at times about what is coding. Because it's new, because few people understand, and because there's so much information out there. Like if you are a parent, Tamir, and you click on one thing with regards to coding on Facebook, your Facebook is gone. You will be targeted for coding ads for the rest of your life, daily, 3 or 4 a day, right? And they're all pushing a different agenda, and it's so confusing. So it's to share, and coding is changing too, right? Like the way what coding was today was not what it was 2 years ago, will not be what it's five years later. But to tell parents, what is the difference between, for example, Java and JavaScript is something that people get confused in often, and it is a world of a difference. But they sound the same, right? So from a messaging perspective, it looks exactly the same. That's been difficult, and I want to find the right way to make that information accessible to parents so that they can understand, but also it come from a place where I want to do the right by them, where they have all the information for them to make the decision on their own. I don't want them to trust me. And at the end of the day, I'm also running a coding company, right? Like one could believe that I have another agenda, but I'm pushing. So there has to be a way for us to get that information across that's trustworthy. It's from fundamental principles. Parents can arrive at their own conclusion in terms of what they choose.
I think relating to what you talked about earlier, is that the parents we're speaking to went through the same education system that we've addressed all of these issues with in the past. And so they're not aware of a different system, many parents. And many of them think, oh, I'm not a math person. Oh, I'm not a technical person. And so when you try and approach them to talk about these technical subjects, there is also this shutdown.